Is everybody ready?
I believe so. 7 o'clock.
Welcome everybody to Building and Grounds, both in person and online. So go ahead, Al.
All right, well, we're going to start off with a aquaponics tour this evening. However, the trout aren't quite ready to be seen. They're basically so small and they're still in a little netted cage. So I talked to Fidel and he said that hopefully by next month we'll actually be able to see them. So they're still in their little pods or whatever he called it. I guess they're eggs. They're still connected to their eggs. So hopefully for next month we're going to take an aquaponics tour. It's actually pretty neat what I saw. That they're actually all covered up in cardboard. They got to stay in the dark for a certain amount of time and things like that.
So when they were delivered, the eggs, some of the eggs were already turning to fry. And now I was down to talk to Dylan to look. It's got to stay dark. Like literally, he took the flashlight, just look at it quick and then pull it away. But they're all like about that big now.
So it's like they're hiding under rocks and you mess them up.
It's pretty amazing. We don't want to stun their growth.
Yeah, right.
Something to look forward to.
We can't do that.
They won't be ready by opening day. Where is it? Down in science? Yeah, one of the upper classrooms in science wing.
Well, we'll have to take more than one tour. So this one will be to see the fish, and then in a couple months we'll have to go back so you can see what's growing in the onyx part.
Yes. That's great. Okay, good. So the next item we have, we'll start with discussion items. So we'll start off with the building usage follow-up.
Yeah.
Dr. O'Connor.
So last time we were together on December 3rd, there were 3 things that we had to work on. One of them is to invite it's the Bucks IU. I always call them. CIU is Berks County Intermediate Unit. So.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. So I'll fix this. Anyway, so we invited the Bucks IU and they joined us on December 23rd. They had a team with them, and Al and Jim and I toured with them each of the elementary schools, and they felt that each of the buildings was deemed to be in satisfactory condition with modifications to house Bucks IU programming. Any questions on that?
They have not gotten back to us with any preferences at all.
No, we didn't ask them for any either. It was just, these are our 3 elementary schools, and they toured them and they were all as satisfactory. They're all in really good shape because you've kept them all in good shape. So they saw that. Okay. The next area was to post previous presentations on declining enrollment facilities use over the years. So if you go to the district website, then departments, then buildings and grounds, and then building use data, you will see sorry, the page can't be found. So let me try that again because I know it's there. Let me do it not the linked way. I'll relink it. So it's all of the ones that we've done, all the presentations, meeting minutes over the past times we've discussed this topic. So if you want to look back, a little historical perspective, you can easily find it once I link and it works for you. And then the third area was putting together, getting some RFPs and then putting together a draft RFP that we could use for a demographic study. So I'll put this up on this in a second, but I think we have enough for everyone to take a look. Colleagues were great to share RFPs that they've done in the past, and this is a combination of Those RFPs are pretty standard, but really my question is to find out, is this the information that you want for a company or a firm to do a demographic study? So these are pretty standard in that they have the purpose. Seeking statements of qualification and experience from qualified firms to conduct a comprehensive enrollment projection and building utilization study. Must provide sufficient detail to comply with Pennsylvania Department of Education standards. Background information, obviously a bit about us. And the scope of services is really what I need your feedback on. So I'll make this a little bit bigger, it's easier for you to see it. So why don't we just start with part A, which is the enrollment projections and housing study. If you wanted to, once you get through that, just sort of look up at me and I'll know that you've read through it, and we'll start with that part. Okay, is there anything that you want changed, removed from that part of it? What you're looking for from this group?
I guess my one thought is just, is there a reason why we're looking at the wealth indicators? Like what would be the reason for wanting to know that part of it?
Some demographic studies do look at that. So if you're redistricting, that you're being attentive to all parts of your community, you can keep that in, you can remove it. But that is found in some demographic studies to get a snapshot and an idea of your community.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but to me that's kind of irrelevant in what we're looking at, in my opinion. I don't see what that has to do with anything in this, but okay.
Anything else, or does the committee want to do anything with one? Do you want to take out wealth indicators? Do you want to leave it in? This is truly a draft, just to make sure that this is hitting what you want.
Wealth indicators as in above or below poverty line?
Could be.
Is that just that simple?
Didn't we do a study like this years ago?
I think if it was done, I remember it was discussed at one point in one of those iterations and it didn't happen.
So it didn't happen, okay.
But I do believe it probably happened when you worked on the middle school, which was decades ago. I'm sure you did a study at that point to see what your needs were going to be. But in my time here, we've not done one
Okay.
to this.
I thought we did one of these back when we were having the meetings in the
It was discussed.
auditorium, but it didn't happen, okay.
Mhm.
We started a study, we did the two elementary buildings that we did, Tenneco and Springfield. And there was, I thought we got part way into a study for Durham Knox. You know, the whole PlanCom deal. If I'm using the right term. Okay.
Okay with A, leave wealth indicators, take them out. I'm not quite sure where we're at with that.
All the data's good data.
I mean, I agree, I don't totally see how we're gonna use it, but I also think that when they're collecting all this other information, that is gonna be literally one item on a spreadsheet they're gonna already have.
Yeah.
So I don't see what it hurts to include it.
Okay.
Would they
Yeah.
analyze that according to townships or?
It would probably be townships. I'm not sure how Zip codes, I mean, zip codes are sort of
Yeah,
difficult around here.
yeah, townships would probably, that would be interesting information.
Sure. Okay. B, capacity and educational program analysis. So this gets a little bit more into projected enrollments against building capacities, analyzing current facilities, and then the option development, provide a report on options for redistricting, grade realignment, or facility expansion, consolidation if supported by the data. Anything else that you'd be looking for in this section from this company?
For the district's educational program, that's somewhat driven by the comprehensive plan, yes? So that's part of it. So that would be in consideration with the educational program. So they look at the comprehensive plan.
I'm sure they would look at what our goals are in the comprehensive plan, but also look at what we have in place to support our current programs. You know, as they have the examples of labs, special education suites, smaller meeting areas are often an area that our folks are looking towards, so.
Just turn all those computer labs into small
Yeah.
systems.
Quick question.
Yes.
That just came to me on part A as I'm reading this over. Like, I assume this would be included, but want to make sure that they're going to give us age ranges
Sure.
for the population in all those areas, and and possibly how that maybe has shifted
Yes.
over the last, several years.
I'm thinking that since we're paying for the information, is there other information, we might be able to use information even if we decide not to go forward with this. There might be information in there that we can use for grant funding or, other needs. So, look at it that way too.
I mean, I know that there are Bucks County, there's a map of Bucks County that also includes like open spaces, farmland preservation, industrial areas, like those you can just, might as well get them, even though you can.
Yeah, they're easily accessible.
I'm gonna add that in just so they can put it all in.
Yeah, that's been a question before, as to what's, how much land is unbuildable.
Yeah, we have, this analyze zoning and infrastructure to project future housing yields
Okay,
is in 2. Everyone okay with those 2?
Yep.
Okay. And this is where you need to, this is just submittals must include firm profile, project proposal, detailed resumes, references. If you want split pricing to do it separately, the enrollment portion and the capacity portion, hourly rates.
I have no idea how many sources are potentially out there that do this kind of thing. Is there a reason why we're confining it to Pennsylvania? Just because of costs potentially, or what? or
What
just
would your recommendation
advertising?
be? I mean, PA code sort of has some nuances, but it's not that someone from New Jersey couldn't figure out those,
Look
like
at
what those are. I mean, like
right.
Pennsylvania is specific as to what square footage per student, but that's not difficult to find.
Mhm. I just wondered if that would open the field up a little bit, I guess is what I was thinking, you know. Again, I have no idea, you know, what sources are out there for this kind of work, so I just wondered, that's all.
Well,
Al,
this,
do you care? Not do you care, but like, do you have a feeling either way if it's a PA-based company or?
I don't think that matters, just sort of, we're looking at PA schools,
Districts.
districts. Over.
yeah, I was just gonna, is there something in here that's, it's not that it has to be a PA firm, just that they've done work in Pennsylvania.
So that would be number 4.
Yeah,
So,
Well, but why is that, Scott?
well, I sort of think that that's important that they've got some experience in looking at the Pennsylvania codes and everything that need to be done to present that. Like, they could be a firm from New Jersey or,
Mhm.
you know, Kentucky, if they've done work in Pennsylvania and done that. I mean, I suppose if all of a sudden we only got one proposal, then,
Okay. See what comes comes in.
but I would be a
whichever
little
was
bit concerned if you get like a New Jersey company, and they've only done New Jersey,
available.
you know, studies like this, that now they're also learning on us and I mean, I suppose it would be in their cost structure, but I'd be a little bit concerned that either A, their familiarity, and secondly, whether then the costs are gonna be higher because they've got more research to do.
so if it's not a PA, I slightly adjusted the first one. So overview of the firm years in service and specific experience with school district facility feasibility studies. So that would be in Georgia or Colorado. But we're also looking for a list of similar studies completed for PA districts in the last 5 years. So Colorado company may have done other districts in Pennsylvania. There's 500 of them, so if they do this work, there's a good chance they would have done Pennsylvania.
Mhm. Okay.
Good with that one? Okay, now, so this is really how the committee wants to handle when these RFPs come through. So you can interview firms that you may be interested in, based on evaluation of short list of firms, maybe invited for an interview. Again, and this is just right to reject and then contract language here. And once this is in more final shape, I will send it to Dave Kahn just to make sure that it's has everything it needs to. But does the committee want to meet with firms? Do they want us to bring you a recommendation, 1 or 2 recommendation? How, it's up to you how you want to proceed with this part of it.
I would say recommendations. Most interviews will probably take place during the standard business day. So,
Okay.
I mean, Jim could probably make them, or, maybe Scott, some of the retired people. But, yeah, some of us can't make during the day.
Okay.
Um,
It may be good enough just to say maybe invited for an interview. We can see how
I
many.
was just gonna
Yeah.
say, I'd rather not have that as an option,
Okay.
because let's say that we had several proposals and, a couple were very similar, very close, and we
Me
want to have that, interaction
Yeah.
to see what we feel the most comfortable with.
Okay, all right, now.
And I would think if they do this kind of work, that the possibility would be they could meet in the evening, so.
Yep. So what timeline would you like to, when do you want to get this done?
Does this have to be passed by the full board, or if they decide they want to do it, then you just go ahead with the RFP?
No, we
Board
could
has to
go
vote
ahead
on
with the
contract.
RFP. I mean, the full board would have to approve any contract that it entered into, but at this stage,
Decide,
yeah.
Okay.
Because then the committee would make a recommendation to the full board to proceed with X, Y, and Z.
So I'm sorry, you're wanting to know when we want what done by?
Yep.
What are we specifically asking to have done?
When do you want, these are all the things, these are all the items that
And
need
you should be one.
dates.
So,
We're gonna release the RFP. We have to provide a deadline for questions, so once we release it and they're due at whatever time, we back it up and give them an opportunity to ask further questions that may not be clear. Then interviews will be held, the project will be awarded, and then the final report will be presented to this committee or to the full board.
okay.
So why don't you start with when do you
We
want,
want the final report.
correct?
Does this have to go to the solicitor?
Yeah, see, I wouldn't
or
start at the end.
The RFP?
I gotta
I'll
work my
send it
way,
to her.
I gotta work my way to
Standard
that.
RFP. I'll just make sure that it has everything, protecting the district as far as this process, but that
So,
won't take long.
so I'd like to ask that we start the other way. So realistically, when could we expect that the RFP could be released? Like next week?
Yeah, if the board is, or the committee is happy with what's here, I could send it to David tomorrow for him to take a look at, just to, if
Okay.
he has any additions, we could send it out next week. We usually give how much time, Chris, for RFPs?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Okay, so that would be 3 weeks for the questions?
It would probably be 1 week, probably 1 week out from the questions, yeah. So whenever we issue it, each
Okay.
firm would have a week after that to review it. It's not a complicated RFP, but to ask any questions they may have of us.
Okay,
And then 2 weeks after that, then they would have to have their proposals in.
okay,
So assuming, say you get the RFP out, you get it, Dave Kahn, you get it back, maybe you get the RFP out the middle of the first week of February.
It's only 2 weeks.
February 5th. That'll be next
You
week.
think that's
That's pretty quick.
pretty quick? So second week of February?
why, okay, go ahead.
I just say.
That way, yeah, enough time for Dave Kahn to get it, to review it.
Well, if we
well,
tell him we'd like to release it by the 5th, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is not a tricky RFP.
Yeah,
It
so,
won't
Yeah.
take them long to,
so I think we can get it out by the end of next week.
okay.
So if we get it out on February 6th,
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay? And then we give it for a time period of like submission for deadline of 3 weeks. Is that enough? Yeah, so that would be the 27th of February as the deadline, and the 13th, Friday the 13th, as the deadline for questions.
okay.
Oh, so March 13th is the deadline for questions.
February.
February 13th,
February 13th.
Yeah, a week after the RFP goes out,
right.
they have a week to ask questions, and then 2
Yep,
weeks
2
after that,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the deadline.
So that's by the February 27th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then you're gonna get those in, and
Give them a week to look over them.
yeah, a week at least to go over them.
Yeah.
And then,
So if we're gonna do interviews, maybe the week of March 9th?
yeah. That gives us enough time to go over them and figure out, oh, this is not somebody we want, because they're not gonna do what we're looking for. And
Mhm.
so interviews March 9th, that week. Project award,
meeting on March
Is it 18th? If we do the interviews, I think
Well, I think we'd probably want to decide on the project award at this committee meeting. I mean, does that sound right?
Yeah.
Well, it still has to be approved, the contract would still have to be approved by the whole board.
whole
By the
board,
board, sure.
right?
But I would
So
think
we
that
want-
this committee would want to, want to
Look at
discuss it.
first, okay?
So that would be,
I mean,
Yeah.
if people feel differently, let me know. I would just think that's what we would do. So when is our March building and grounds?
March 25th.
25th.
25th, that's what I thought. Okay, so.
Yeah.
So why don't we say project award? Well, however you want to say that.
Project,
That's in April.
the committee recommendation
Right.
is for whatever firm or, and then the next board meeting would be what, the 15th,
April 15th.
tax day?
That's
And that's when it would go in front of the full board
For the actual award.
for the actual award.
With contract.
Yeah.
And then can we actually set a date for the final report presentation? Are we going to need to hear the timeframe that the different proposals are to put that together?
I think that would be helpful. I mean,
Yeah.
you could say by June. I don't have a good sense at this point how much time they would need. That would probably come through in their, do we have that?
Give them all May to do it, and then the board meeting in June is pretty late, but,
17th.
yeah. so-
Yeah, but I
Yeah, but
honestly don't
it's-
know if that's,
Well, why don't we, if we could put this under the submittal must include into
like a timeline.
clearly defined work plan for both the enrollment study and the capacity study with a timeline for completion. Right?
Mhm.
I just don't have a sense if it takes them 2 months to do this work or.
Yeah, me either. It'd be
Yeah.
a total guess. So that's why I'd have a hard time, putting a date there.
Final report to be determined.
No later than, end of 2026. Set kind of a time there, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, maybe if they need it, once they're awarded. So if they get started in May, 4
Well-
months, that would be like September.
Well, I don't know that we even need to get bothered with, I'm just saying my own
Yeah.
personal opinion. I don't feel the need to get involved with that right now. That can be part of who we award the bid to, is making sure we have that conversation with them. And of course, at that point, there's going to be a contract. There should be a time frame, within there. And we'll decide whether we can live with that or not.
All righty? Everyone happy? Everyone satisfied, good enough fish? All right, good enough if it is. All right, thank you.
Wait, is it auditorium lighting? Gary?
Gary?
I am here.
Ooh.
So the last time I reported out to you, we were trying to get a proposal from Blue Chip Sound, but Blue Chip was not on any kind of state bid list. So we ended up reaching out to another company, Starlight, and they came out and assessed the auditorium. They were going to give us a proposal, but they were waiting on Blue Chip's proposal just so they could compare apples to apples. Now, to my surprise, Blue Chip ended up sending me a proposal, and they are now on PA CoStar's contract, which means that we would not have to go out to bid for this project. And then what I was also able to do was send out the actual light fixtures that Blue Chip was proposing out to Starlight, the other vendor, so that they can send a comparable proposal So that way we can compare the two proposals and, go with the one with the best price. So that's good news on our end. We have the proposal in hand from Blue Chip, and they are on CoStars, and they came in about $28,000 under what I budgeted for.
So we're just waiting for this other
We're gonna-
company to send the bid
Yes.
in. Or
Starlight.
else they're not gonna bid.
Right.
Okay. You think you'll have it by the next, buildings and grounds,
I'm hoping so.
March 25th?
Yeah, I should be able to. Yep.
Gary, what was the amount you said it was under what you had budgeted?
It was about $28,000. I had budgeted $200,000, and the quote
Okay.
came in at 171,870.12.
Mhm. Okay.
All right, great. So we're gonna just wait until we get the Starlight and at the next meeting,
Yes.
make a decision? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Any questions from the audience? All right,
This would be for work this summer?
Yeah, well, it'd be like right after school lets out, they'd be coming in.
It was already budgeted, right?
It's in the
It was
budget.
budgeted in this year's capital projects, yes.
Okay.
This is the middle school.
The high school.
This is a high school, yeah.
this is high school.
This is the high school, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stage lighting, it's basically just the stage lighting. It's not the house lighting or the sound panels.
are we gonna do that?
Okay.
Are we gonna do that?
Yeah, that'll be a separate project.
Okay.
Was that in our budget to do those items this year?
No, it was not.
Okay. All right, sounds good. That's all we have for that, right, Gary?
Yes. Yes.
All right, well, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
The next item that we have up is comprehensive plan operations. Guess there were some questions. I was not at the comprehensive plan meeting, but I don't know what the question is.
I wasn't here either. so.
Okay.
What the projects are? We have a list somewhere. It was in our I didn't bring comprehensive plan stuff along, but, for operations, yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure Bridget's gonna find it in her files.
Just sent the RFP off.
Yeah.
We're good.
Was it $80,000?
Well, that was the total of things that were listed in the comprehensive plan. So that included the educational piece, the communications piece, and the operations. So I just don't remember what the number was for operations. Do you know what I mean, Cora? So the whole budget number for comprehensive
Yeah, it
plan
was 88,000 for the whole budget.
Yeah,
Is that just for the next fiscal year or?
that's over the
That's
three-year
over the
comprehensive
three
plan.
years.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So what is it that like, it's on the agenda, so what is it that,
There was a question.
what made
that
it go
came
on the
up.
agenda and what was the discussion and the question?
The
So,
question was about when we
I
were at the
just raised the question that since there was money involved in, like, coming into before the comprehensive plan is approved, I felt that the committee should be aware of the money and projects that are going into it. And I guess I should have brought it up.
Actually, I think if I'm remembering the conversation correctly, I think they stated at the meeting that anything that was dealing with operations would come out of capital projects.
Yes, so as far as my part of it, which was which was develop a cost-effective plan with action steps to ensure proper cleaning, maintenance, physical comfort, and safety of our buildings for students, staff, and the public. One of the biggest things that came up through the from the feedback was basically building comfort. So HVAC was a big thing. So I took the estimates that we had from Snyder Hoffman for the whole district. And I put a number in there to 3 to 4 million over a three-year project, or 3-year periods. I'm sorry, it was a 3-year period. The other two items were to ensure proper cleaning and disinfection of the buildings by addressing the lack of substitute custodial coverage. We do not, at this current time, it's really hard to get substitute custodians. Currently, we only have 2 for the district. So, the question was raised, should we look at other options other than ESS? Are there other companies out there that could provide service and, yes.
So,
Ask these guys from the tech school. Sorry.
well, so was that ever
It's not
taken to
laughing
ESS to address it and why they're not able to fill?
Yeah, they've been having recruitments and things like that. It's just they get teachers, but the support staff, that's where they're really lacking first, And is it price? Is it the pay scale? Probably. I think it's.
So a concern that I have right now hearing this is, number one, this is the first I have heard that we haven't been able to fill the positions. And this just went through fiscal for the pricing structure, and all we focused on at fiscal was substitute teachers. So it would have been, and don't get me wrong, I'm not, what I'm saying is I'm a little bit frustrated wherever the breakdown is, because it seems to me as though we should have been discussing that at fiscal, that we were having problems filling these areas. And I would like to hear from ESS why that is. Once again, we contract out these services to other companies. They say they can do the job, and then they don't do the job, and then somehow then it falls on, you to still get the work done when you're not getting the people that you need. I have a problem with that. So, number one, yes, if there's other companies we should be looking at, then definitely want to know about them. But I'm a little bit concerned why we didn't talk about that in fiscal, or why ESS didn't come to us and say, hey, we've been having a hard time filling, the maintenance staff,
Right,
and
look at your
we're
rates.
recommending, an increase. Because the only thing that we focused on at fiscal was an increase. And I'm just saying, that's the only thing that was brought up at fiscal, was increasing the daily sub rate.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that you've been going shorthanded.
What is the rate for custodial subs?
$16 an hour.
Is that comparable to other districts in the area, or?
I said it's comparable to McDonald's.
Chris, have any information?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Chris, do you have any?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, then let's go back. I suggest that we go back to ESS and
I have that.
and
Yep.
get a report on what their fill rates have been and why they haven't been 100%. And then at least that's a starting point.
Yeah.
Let's see what they have to say. And now I'm forgetting how we got on that when we're looking at comprehensive plan and operations. Well, I know, but how did we get to?
Yeah, because it was one of his goals.
It was-
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, for the
Yeah.
cleanliness, okay.
Yeah, it was one of
right.
the action steps.
Action, action stuff.
And then the third one, which is basically an in-house, and that had basically no cost to that. That last one had no cost to it.
Mhm.
And then third one was to enhance the building environment for staff and students by enforcing the use of the maintenance and IT ticket systems, upgrading cafeteria setups, and, what works best in today's, the middle school still has the single bench, little round bench, tables, like, what is there, 8, 6? Yeah.
For what,
With
for
benches.
where?
Cafeteria.
Oh, the
Cafeteria.
cafeteria, oh.
Cafeteria seating came up,
Okay.
And the other one was, upgrading the staff common areas, seating in the common areas, or actually furniture in the common areas for, they're like the teacher, work areas, things like that. And one other thing that came up with it, install privacy partitions in the bathrooms to eliminate the sight lines for privacy as needed. So the purple gym, for example, is the biggest one, where when you're in the hallway, you basically can look right into the bathrooms. There's no door, right up. So that was something that came up, which I need to look into, what our options. They're very small to begin with. So,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Look at the ones off the hall.
yeah, the ones in the hallway. So if you're actually in the hallway, not that you can look into the,
You can see the sink.
you can see the sink, yeah. Still, you can see it. So and that one, I just had a rough estimate on pricing for furniture. And I had put $50,000. And again, that's just a ballpark. Cafeteria table is like around 3,500, I think, something like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what on your list could possibly be on the comprehensive thing? I don't know. I don't recall all of that, some of that, but I don't know all of that. I would think, wasn't it just at EPS? Wasn't it just at EPS that Michael brought that presentation for the comprehensive plan and have that number? Did he show
No, we didn't
the
have-
page that had a breakdown of the capital project ideas or something? And numbers? Anyway,
I think we have a breakdown in fiscal.
was it at fiscal? Okay,
I don't recall that for
It'll be for next-
I feel like I saw it somewhere, Scott. I'll have to go back and see if I can find it.
Yeah, that was just a list of capital projects.
Yeah, there was something that had a list of the things that Michael accounted for, though, in the comprehensive plan. But again, not,
Was that the comprehensive plan meeting?
well, but yeah, he came from the comprehensive plan meeting to EPS though, right?
No, I don't think we had it in the ADS.
He hasn't done it at EPS yet? I thought he just
I
did.
think it was at fiscal, I think it was at budget last week, but it was proposal for expenditures for next year, 26, 27. It was like $88,000 or something like that.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I think he did it at Chris's
It was at
meeting.
a meeting.
Okay.
I don't know what meeting.
So we do the budget presentation, which would make sense.
So, I don't remember where it was,
I
but
think it was-
it's out there somewhere. We'll find it.
Okay.
So, okay. I'm not of much help, I'm sorry. I didn't bring anything with me other than this.
All right. Is our discussion
No
concluded?
action on that.
I have the follow-up with the SS.
There you go.
Okay, anybody else from the audience for the discussion? All right, I guess we're good with that one. On to informational.
Okay, first item on informational is a treatment plant. Right now, we're reviewing submittals from Twinning on all the components going into the construction of the new treatment plant. The treatment plant itself is being built right now. I'm told they have about 3/4 of the products in, the motors, all that type of stuff. So everything's going smoothly there. Should be ready for July 1st, has to be ready for July 1st. Next item I have up is the Palms Auditorium. Last Tuesday, the 20th, Carl, Brittany McGorry, Gary, and myself met with KCBA and the theatrical engineer and the Snyder Hoffman engineer on you know, basically they looked over the whole area and stuff like that. We did get some, I'm not gonna run it now. My plan is next month's meeting to have a presentation,
Big
but
reveal.
we'll have the reveal at that point.
You're gonna have a little diorama like this.
Yeah, it's all
And
paid.
all the student left,
Put it
so.
up on the screen.
It's actually, well, they will, yeah, they'll put it up on the screen, but it came out, I think Carl can say it's it is phenomenal. So with that also will be, you know, some budgetary pricing.
I thought you were saying with that is a phenomenal price tag.
Yeah,
That part I don't know. So basically, the biggest thing with, you know, an auditorium is like theatrical, engineering part of it, you know, the sound, lighting and all that type of stuff, which is, you know, for everything to be right. Yeah, I'm sure that adds a lot of cost to it, or other than just a square footage type, you know, thing, so.
The audience capacity is staying pretty much the same.
We're adding some seats in the back, and taking those,
We lose that aisleway, so there's a couple seats there, right?
yeah, and then in the front as well, because we don't use a stage, a little stage up front, there's, what do you call those things?
Yeah, the band, pit.
The pit,
The
yeah,
pit.
we don't use that, so we put another row of seating up front there too.
Yeah, one of the things that we had, what they had to design, was to have handicap access. It had to have a lift. You know, it's
Oh,
part of the
up to
new
the
code, yeah, so, but we wanted to keep both sets of stairs because they use them a lot for productions and things like that. So they did find a way to, put it off to the, I guess you would call it stage left, on the right-hand side. The lift would be there and then basically put a hole in the wall there to come up onto the stage. So it has to be, new ADA regulations, it has to be accessible without, you know, having to go out in the hallway and down the ramp and that sort of stuff, so, yeah.
And we lost a double door to one single door.
So on the very back of the building, there's like 2 exits now. And there's that partition wall, which we never use anymore. So we're cutting that down to one larger, doorway there. We'll get rid of the partition, which will gain some more space up in the top. Those are just, yeah, it is pretty, it's, I would say pretty elaborate from what we have now, you know, the way you look at things. But
Will they have a cost estimate to go with their drawings and such, or not? That's not
They
part of
should,
it.
yes.
That would,
Yeah.
they will, okay.
yeah, that was for bringing in the theatrical engineer. So they have kind of a rough cost square footage, but
Okay.
it'll be more refined.
Okay.
Great. Okay, Durham Knox emergency generator, we just got the solicitor's review for the rate to drop the bid by Buckhart Horn. I always want to say Buck Hornhart, but it's Buckhart Horn. So I believe that's going to go out, that should be ready to go out now, go out for bid for that replacement. And the high school emergency generator, I did find a company by the name of Longo, and they do all kinds of rebuilds on it. You know, so we don't have to get, the engine and everything is in good shape, you know, low usage. It's just the
Generators and the generator.
they call it, yeah, alternator, I guess is what they call it, is what, and it's a large unit, it's a 3-phase unit, so it's pretty big. So they will be, they'll be taking it out, taking it to their shop and rebuilding it. So that'll be, you know, more cost savings than getting a whole new generator.
Okay.
Are they a local company? Pennsylvania?
They have many locations, I believe Bristol and then New Jersey and New York. So they're a relatively big company. And they're co-stars.
Good deal.
Right. And that's all I have. Do you have anything from the committee?
No?
I'm gonna go pick up.
Any from the audience?
when's gonna be the ribbon cutting for the pole barn officially? That's
I
not on.
don't think we're gonna be planting anything this, in the next couple of months.
So it has to be planning, so it can't just be a test, huh?
No.
I said, get some blow up palm trees from Party City and stick them in the ground.
All right, meeting
All right, we're
adjourned.
good. Adjourned.
Next meeting will be February 25th and adjournment.
Yep.
Okay.